Hello and welcome to Come to Think of It, the podcast diary program on Bizz 99.9 FM Substitute Radio. I'm Gerik, Deall, today's diarist. Welcome and thank you for joining me. Facebook simply isn't designed for long and elaborate discussion or complicated and deep analysis. This is because of the way it's designed, with small text and narrow space in between lines. This makes it almost impossible to read long bodies of text, lest you want to ruin your eyes in the process from squinting. Not to mention the fact that posts over a couple of hundred words are hidden behind the continue reading button. This has meant that the social media website itself is placing standard measure on what is considered acceptable content on its site and what is simply too long and must be segregated away. That's why I get really annoyed when well-intentioned people decide to write long Facebook posts, which are large bodies of prose written in conventional style, presenting an elaborate and professional critique of a particular subject. Such a piece of writing doesn't belong on Facebook, but rather a website that has a formatting much friendlier to such longer pieces of text. Facebook simply will not allow for accommodating such a publication, which is why it becomes difficult to share this post around, for people to read it in its entirety, and for them to thereby participate in the debate that's taking place. In short, Facebook becomes less intellectual and less democratic as the writing becomes longer. And so, because of the way that it's designed, Facebook is hospitable much more for shorter pieces of text, such as short analyses, links, slogans, or brief arguments. And this is the problem, particularly if the website is overused. Once you get more comfortable with sloganeering, you start to rely on it as your bread and butter work, entirely forgetting about deeper and more substantial types of intellectual activity. In other words, the specific parameters of Facebook start to determine and shape your entire intellectual conduct. Rather than you ruling over social media, the latter rules over the former. Over time, this leads to the complete absence of all longer, deeper ideas. You suddenly find yourself entirely limited to only short, sharp slogans, without anything serious to back them up. In order for any serious argument or position to be put out properly, it requires quite a lot of words to be written. This is simply a reality due to the complicated nature of our reality. We simply are unable to make complete understanding of how the world works through only a few dozen words. Rather, it requires a serious, proper attempt to carefully gather information, formulate arguments, and articulate ideas, so that the end product is a serious piece of intellectual writing. Facebook's tendency towards not accommodating to these longer pieces of writing means that the people who tend to dominate the activities and the discussion are those who have best adapted their behaviours to suit the format. The leading activists on the social media site are the sloganeers and the barking mutts, because they know that that kind of writing is best suited to the site, and thus most capable of getting the intended result in the shortest amount of time. If we want to see longer, more detailed, more complicated pieces of writing, some other social media site must be found. And that's all the time we have for today. This has been Come to Think of It on Bizz 99.9 FM Substitute Radio. I'm Gerik, Deall. Thanks for listening to the program. Until next time, goodbye.